If you plan on growing a new lawn from scratch, I'm going to show you the best way that I know how to do it so you can guarantee results in your future project. Many people think that they have to tiller their soil before they plant their grass seed, but I found in my past experience that's just not the case. See, the problem I have with tillering my soil is that not only does it bring unwanted weed seeds to the surface, but it actually also creates a bumpy lawn over time as that soil begins to settle. Ideally, the best approach to breaking up compacted soil is to aerate your lawn before you overseed. If it's not possible for you to aerate your soil, water it deeply a couple times in the week leading up to when you start seeding. The most common seeds that you'll find at your local big box store will be sunny mixes or shade mixes or a combination of sunny and shade mixes. So buy which one is the best fit for your specific lawn. And make sure you buy double the quantity because there could be unforeseen circumstances that happen. And worst case scenario, you could always use it later if you want to overseed. The specific seed that I opted for in my lawn is this seed from Seed Superstore called Midnight. It's known for its dark, deep green color and it's great for my specific area that I live in. The seeding rate for this Kentucky bluegrass is 3 pounds per 1,000 square feet, but when it comes to your own seed, it can vary dramatically. For example, this is 3 pounds per 1,000 square feet, but a tall fescue can be up to 10 pounds per 1,000 square feet. I know you could be tempted to put down more seed than you actually need to, but when it comes to seed, less is more. Because if you put down a little bit too much, you can actually crowd out other plants from growing. So go ahead and follow the label rate, and then later if you have bare patches, you could always fill them in. When you seed, I recommend one of these drop spreaders because you can get around your edges a lot more clean and you can reduce the amount of seeds that are actually going into your mulch beds. You can find them on Facebook Marketplace for dirt cheap, pun intended. After I'm done doing the perimeter pass with my drop spreader, I like to use this handheld spreader because I feel like it gives me a little bit more precision and control, especially when I'm using these Kentucky bluegrass seeds. They're really tiny, and if I use my 80-pound Lesco spreader, I feel like I have less control. Pro tip for you guys, if you guys are considering getting one of these hand spreaders, make sure you go for the manual one rather than the battery one. Because I had this piece of junk and I burned my lawn so many times you don't even want to know because material just pops right out of it. After I'm done putting down my seed, I like to rake them lightly with a basic garden rake. I like to take the rake and just lightly drag it over the soil's surface just to put the seed slightly underneath the surface. They say the best tools are the tools that you have on hand. Well, in this case, I don't have a lawn roller, but I do have this Toro Greensmaster that has a roller on the back. So I'm going to use that to roll my seed in. All right, we got this far in the project, and the last thing we want is a bunch of seeds to come in and sabotage our project. And there's only one weed control product that I know of that you can use while seeding. You probably guessed it, the good old TENACITY. I feel like I'm getting redundant with TENACITY, but man, there's just so many uses for it. It's great, I love it. The active ingredient inside TENACITY is called mesotrione, and it'll actually act as a pre-emergent while your seeds are about to sprout, and it'll prevent weeds from sprouting and/or it'll kill it as they're growing into your new lawn. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check it out. It's kind of pricey, but it goes a long way. You'll buy one bottle and you'll have it for a long time, trust me. Scott's actually makes their own version of TENACITY in a granular form that contains the same active ingredient that TENACITY does, mesotrione.
And I've used it in the past and had great results.
All right, so one of the things I was missing for my project was some starter fertilizer. This bag right here covers 1,000 square feet. I'm personally gonna be covering about 1,500 square feet, but I'm gonna go a little bit lower than the bag rate because I just threw down a pound of nitrogen with Milorganite a few weeks ago. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this one because I don't wanna overdo my phosphorus.
The last thing we need to apply is some peat moss. This is going to help retain the moisture so our seeds can germinate better. So if you get anything out of this video, I want you guys to know the importance of watering. If you're going to do a big project like this, don't throw it all down the drain by having bad watering habits. See, the goal is to not drench the soil. I know you're probably used to doing deep and infrequent waterings, but with this, we're going to want to do frequent, light watering. I found what works best for me is watering 4 times a day and spacing out those waterings equally throughout the day. Since I'm working from home now due to this pandemic, I actually have the time to make sure that I'm watering properly. But say you have to go to work and you can't consistently water, if you don't have an irrigation system, I recommend one of these sprinkler timers that Orbit makes. There's a special setting on there where you could have it water every 6 hours for a specific amount of minutes. If you're using an above ground sprinkler system, I highly recommend these rotating Orbit sprinklers because they have a light misting action, which is exactly what you want when you're seeding.
It's been 5 days now, and as you can see, I have full germination across my whole new lawn. They say Kentucky bluegrass is the slowest seed to germinate, but if I could get it to germinate in 6 days, I'm 100% confident that if you follow my 10-step guide on how to seed a new lawn, you'll have a brand new lawn in under a week.
This is video 6 in my renovation series, so if you're interested to see how I got here, I know I say this all the time, but click this playlist right here. I really want to thank you guys. It really means a lot because I'm fastly approaching that 1,000 subscriber mark. And when I started this a few months ago, I never thought that this was going to happen. So honestly, I really appreciate it, and I'll see you soon.